right, guys, I was actually wrapping things up, headed to bed. It hit me that, man, even the video that I posted last night updating you guys about how I felt in my plan, turning things around, what was going on, got such a huge response. I'm sitting here thinking, you know what, I can either wait 2 or 3 days to get caught up, at best 2 or 3 days, to get caught up video editing wise, before you guys see what happens, or just, before going to bed tonight. Again, I wanted to have more interaction between me and you guys, and that's not going to happen if I don't make videos. The interaction is going to have to start from me coming and talking with you guys. I'm going to bed tonight. If you watched the video I put up last night, I mentioned how bad that I felt for a long time. Last night before going to bed, I got somewhere, and in the last 4 to 5 hours before going to bed, I got somewhere around 700 grams of carbs in. It was totally uncomfortable to get that much food in. I don't think I really had any kind of protein, but there was nothing to recover from. I hadn't trained in days. I really hadn't got off the couch in days. And my blood sugar was still setting in the 50 to 70 range. It was still low. I did not check it before going to bed, but I was at the point before going to bed, I was still dizzy. And then the drinks that I took to bed, I loaded with carbs. And I took 2 candy bars to bed as well, which is standard for me. And I ate one of them. We have some they're not Cadbury. It's another really, really high quality brand that makes, I don't want to say good chocolate. I don't want to say healthy chocolate. It's definitely not that health food chocolate, but it's like the best quality, filled with good nuts. I mean, like if you went to the expensive store and bought the expensive almonds, not the cheap ones that I buy from the store, but when my wife tells me she would really like some almonds or some nuts, I don't go to the cheap store and buy her the cheap stuff. I go to the expensive store and buy her a bag of the expensive stuff. My wife tells me she wants something, and we're talking the difference between, if we're talking almonds and cashews and stuff like that, they're really expensive here. It's double the price, but I'm going from like $6 for a small bag to $12 for a small bag. And that's $12 with a $6 difference for my wife to be spoiled. So anyway, the candy bars have the expensive stuff in them. It's not loaded with sweets, and so I took those to bed. Got rid of all of it. But I woke up today feeling better. I don't think I was dizzy when I got up. But I got up. My wife had ordered. It's Sunday. My wife had ordered some little pancakes from this place that delivers. So I had a stack of pancakes covered with syrup, and they cover them with all these nuts and fancy stuff that I would never order, and like a liquid raspberry type jam. I don't know, but I ate it all. I just sat here and just ate it all. And throughout the day, I had essential amino acids, BCAAs, carb powder, electrolytes, and my goal was at 5 o'clock to start training log press. Well, it didn't happen. My wife had to be somewhere by 6. I was cooking different stuff. I cooked a bunch of rice that I loaded down with soy sauce and extra salt, and was eating that throughout the day because my body always responds really, really well to basmati rice, and I like the jasmine rice the best. And I cook it with triple water instead of double water. It makes it really thick and sticky, and I think it goes down better, for me anyway. It's easier to mash, it never gets stuck in my throat. But I didn't get started. I began setting up the log at like 6:15. So I knew that I only had to hit the minimum on the log. I mean, we're looking at 95 kilograms, like 210 pounds. I needed to hit a double or triple, whatever. I got a really, really easy triple. Felt great. Moved on to speed work, axle floor press with chains, I did 9 sets, 30 seconds rest in between. It was really fast. Everything felt really, really good. I never really got a pump, but I could feel my triceps working. It still bothered me that I'm not getting a pump. I mean, my electrolyte balance, my carb balance is not where it needs to be. Took a short break, set up the deadlift bar. It's still set up on the floor now. And I was already warm because I'd already picked up 210 pounds on a log, which is much heavier than 210 pounds on a deadlift because the log is 12 inches out in front of you. And I'd picked it up and cleaned it and pressed it. And then decompressed by laying on the floor doing floor press. So warm-ups were easy. I've got, I don't know the weight, 212 and a half kilos. So 210 is 462. I mean, like 465, 467, 470, something like that. Plus 25 kilograms, 55 pounds in chains. My thought, what I've been doing, is getting triples instead of doubles just because they feel good and just because. The program calls for doubles. On the second rep, I felt a nerve kind of wobble in my hamstring. I felt something strange. I don't think it was... Every single night I make a video, he does that. I don't think it was the hamstring itself because it doesn't hurt now. Didn't hurt the rest of the training session. But it grabbed as I was pressing or as I was pulling. And it was enough just to make me say, you know what? I'm not going to get injured pulling sub 500 pounds. I'm not going to tell somebody that I was deadlifting 465 and talking in pounds and tore a hamstring. That's not going to happen. Not when it's a choice. So I did what I needed to do and I stopped. Did not do my speed pulls. And then I went outside because stones were next. And I thought that I was supposed to load my 105 230 stone for 5 sets of 5. I thought that's what was on paper, but it really, really wasn't. It was my next stone lighter that I had down that I was supposed to load for 5 sets of 5. And the more that I thought about it, the worse idea I realized that was. So I made a deal with my 3 sets of 5, not 5 sets of 5. I made a deal with myself that I was going to do 5 sets of 2 with that small stone. I'd go outside and I'd start setting everything up outside to load stones. And then my little dude takes off out the door. And you'll see when put the whole video up. I'm doing log and he's behind me with his iPad just sitting there. I'm doing floor press and he's under the bar, he's under the log. I'm doing deadlift and noises bother him. And he can't just go to the other side of the room. He has to be right next to me when I'm using the chains and cover up his ears. So he can't force himself to get away from it, but he can't stand the noise either. So I go outside. I'm going to set up stones and load stones. I walk outside and I hear the door open and there he comes outside wearing nothing but a diaper and a smile. And 30 seconds later, he's wearing nothing but a smile. And it was cold enough outside that, it's cold for us. I was still shirtless and I was still sweating. But I don't know what the temperature was. But I was sweating. But it was cold enough that if my wife had come home and saw him standing outside naked, she would not have been happy with me. So I get him back inside and take about a half hour and get him settled down into some place where he can be happy in here for about 45 minutes. Go back outside and I load stones. I decided to do 5 sets of 2, and then I picked up the first stone and it just felt better than any stone has felt that I can remember. Yeah. So that takes me back a couple of years. But this is the first time I've not loaded stones the day after squats. So my elbow doesn't hurt, bicep didn't hurt, tricep didn't hurt, forearm didn't hurt. My legs aren't painfully sore like they normally are. My back isn't extremely just muscularly sore like it normally is. And I grabbed it, and so I loaded 2 reps with the light stone, and then I rolled the heavier stone over there, grabbed it, and loaded it. So what I decided to do is I did 5 sets of 3, and whatever stone was in front of me was the stone that I loaded. So I loaded the light one, then the heavy one, then the light one. And the next set was heavy, light, heavy. And I rotated that for 5 sets. And everything felt really, really good. Really good. Got the tacky off, decided not to do the dynamic effort sandbags, which you saw me do a couple of weeks ago, I think, where I hooked the sandbags, or I grabbed the sandbag, hooked the bands around my wrist, and threw the tow hook on my car, front end of my car, and did sandbag squats, where it gets heavier as you go up, and you have to extend up and back. That position my body doesn't like being in. So you have to be very, very explosive. I decided not to do those because of the time it was. I need to get my kids in the bath, in the bed. And I already had a good session. My hamstring didn't hurt. Nothing was hurting, and I wasn't going to take a risk at that point. Because I know I'm not 100%, I'm not 80%, I'm not 70%. I know I spent the last week being, 30%? Something like that. So I spent the last 4 weeks complaining to you guys. I spent the last week on the couch. I have no business feeling young and fiery and going outside and continuing to push things. So I came inside, got little dude to bed, and that's it. I would come downstairs to work, and I've just, I've been nonstop eating. Woo, gonna cough for you now. But I've cooked some steak, cooked pasta, I've cooked rice. My wife told me at bedtime that she got me a piece of cake with breakfast, just now telling me about it. But I'm continuing to pound down fluids. As I'm losing my voice, I'm telling you how great I feel. I feel better. Did not get a pump at all anywhere during the day, but that's going to come with a few more days' work of me doing some pump work, doing some mobility and movement work, and making sure that my sodium is high, that my electrolytes are high and balanced, that my fluids are high, that my carbs are high, and that I continue to do that pump work every single day. So I'm going to take, instead of deadlifting on Monday, now I get to take Monday off, get to take Tuesday off. I get to focus on work those days, and then I got to knock out a bunch of work tonight instead of training. So I'm going to spend the next couple of days getting you guys some more videos, caught up on video. If there's something you guys want me to talk about, post it down below. I'll try to make a video. I get a lot of questions on Instagram, but I don't really enjoy Instagram. I can't talk in 15-second bursts. I can't even say, hey guys, what's up? What's going on in 15 seconds, especially if I'm trying. So if there's something you guys want me to talk about, I'll get the good camera out and I'll shoot some video later on this week. I know I've been telling people I want to display the Atlas Stone program that I'm working. I really hesitate to do that because I'm giving it to clients. And I'm not 100% done with the second 12-week block. There's a lot of stuff I'm figuring out. That's it, guys. I'm going to send this out to you, put this on the YouTubes for you guys to watch. Hope you enjoy. I'm going to keep down on more and more carbs, fix another one of these, and maybe a donut or two, finish off that steak I've got sitting over there. I'm going to get to bed and see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.